Everybody, and welcome to Oulton Park for round 6 of TNR. Of course, tonight, as you will see, the guys going out something completely different. We've been telling you guys the whole season about it. Second half is going to be those all touring cars. So there we go, no more V8s for the second half of the season. Of course, tonight, as always, joining me, here's Johnny.
Good evening, everyone. Evening, Jan.
Evening.
It's going to be interesting out there. I think some of the guys still shaky with the new tools.
Something different compared to those V8.
Very different. I was speaking to one of the drivers earlier, and they're saying very different to the V8s, but actually a little bit easier to change direction quickly than the V8s. So. Might work for some, might work against some. We have Gavin coming out of the pits with damage.
Is he actually going to drive? I thought he's not going to make it.
Gavin is out on circuit. That almost pulled a Sebastian Vettel on day one of testing yesterday, where he didn't do a lap. Just feeling ill. Gavin has made it out on circuit. New name here. No lap times on your screen as of yet, but if you look down in 9 at the moment, not Kimmy.
Yes.
That is a.
Actually, a lot of people will know him.
Not Kimmy is a relatively familiar driver. We'll know him as TNB Wazzy.
Hey, Judgy.
Finally changing his name to his favorite
F1 driver. He always said that he's going to do it, and he finally did it. So he actually went the route of my co-commentator, changing their names in association with their favorite drivers.
The funny thing is Fernando Alonso was never my favorite
I know
driver.
he was never, but for some reason you stuck on Fernando. But yeah, it's one of them things.
I'm stuck on Fernando because my first ever online league was in a McLaren and I was at the back.
And of course, if you think about his name, your surname, it's very close. So it's actually a good association. But yeah, Clenchy, of course, everybody calls him Kimmy as well because of his blonde looks, especially if he gets his hair growing again. So yeah, finally did it. Here we go. So I understand a couple of other guys out there also changed names. So we will see when they eventually pitch up racing what's like. So far, it looks like we've got a penalty there.
Everyone else on track. No lap times just yet.
There's one penalty as well already. And that's not Kimmy himself.
It's not Kimmy, and we were just talking about.
But he did say he's going to take something to keep his car on track, so I think it's going to be a handful for him tonight.
2 grid places.
Yay, there's Daniel as well. Welcome, Daniel, son. Ooh, that car looked like a real handful. Ken preferring to keep his lights on in broad daylight.
Some lap times starting to appear now, most of them for AI. I think that's the first of the lap times, a 1:45.3 for the winner. Currently fastest.
That's almost where he was just now in practice.
Chen 1:49.4. Camera just having a bit of trouble.
Again, like last time round. Of course, the judge there making a comment. For those of you following the comments, you might think he sounds like an old broken record player, but unfortunately that is true. That's what's happening. So much for not load shedding for the next week or so. Literally a few days after the last load shedding, here we are again. A couple of guys unfortunately tonight will miss out due to load shedding.
A couple of guys unfortunately did get hit by the load shedding a little worse than others, and unfortunately judges in a part of the country that's getting affected a little bit more.
That's like his third race this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Sometimes you have load shedding on your schedule, but you get away with it somehow. But he gets it every time, even when it's not on schedule.
Round 2, correct me if I'm wrong, but round 2 winner. I mean, all of a sudden it looks like there's a real challenge coming. Guess what? ESCOM happens in like 2 or 3 races already.
Absolutely, it's no fun at all.
That
Neither
piggy,
is that car.
oh,
That
yeah, I was
car
just about to say
doesn't
that
look any
piggy
fun
beam.
at all.
Yeah. Hey, that's buggered.
Looking like it's had better days. Needs a trip to the panel beaters. Don't think you're going to get parts for this model. So panel beaters are going to have to do something impressive.
I don't know if that engine is actually going to be able to produce a lot of power. Because that's how much... That was a huge shunt actually, if you see how much it's did. And remember, these old cars were something else. It's not like the cold drink can material of today. That was real cars.
You know, they're not designed to crush. So an impact like that, it's a hard one.
Was one hell of a shunt to get that amount of damage, definitely.
Still fastest currently, the winner, 1:45.3. Followed by Nismax, currently second, 1.2 seconds adrift. Sure, he'll close that down.
I'm gonna call cement bagging here. I believe both of them can go faster than that. Chen now in third place.
Really came to terms with those V8s, especially in that.
Oh, you chant there from the AI, and again for good measure. Well, it looks like the... Yeah, it looks like AI.
So he did sustain damage there. Sure what that was all about. He's back to the pits. Let's have a look. Is Max still out on track? Obviously looking to improve on that time. Speaking of sandbagging, I've watched 2 days of F1 testing. And none of those times mean anything.
Judgy, it is quick, but from what I could gather, Muna did a 144 in practice. And Nismaxel was in the 145s. That's why I say both of them can go faster.
Chen coming out of the pits again.
Yeah, but funny enough that you would go. Funny enough, at camera view, we saw Chen. Of course, the white, the blue, red, whatever. And if you just saw those little dugouts in the pit lane, exactly the blue, the red, and the white. Reminds me, of course, of a new Williams livery this year. Of course, everybody gets the impression of Aquafresh. Aquafresh could have been a sponsor there, man.
Same colours. Aquafresh getting some free branding in F1. Not bad. Very Michelin-inspired car of Nismax.
Ooh, you do private now for us, I see you, Judgy. Ophou so privaat wees. Private is those other weird movies, eh? 146 is also not a bad time. I mean, 146.1, that's pretty much where Nismax is, so that would have also been a good time. Finko Judgy could have been right there up with him.
I am getting absolutely no sound out of my TV.
Oh, bitch, here we go.
And I have no idea why. Isn't that fun?
It's like that F1 glitch where you absolutely hear nothing on track. Now imagine that while commentating. Oh my word.
Luckily, I've got 2 screens, so I'm going to see if that was the TV. I'm just going to try the other one.
Okay, let's sort you out, yeah.
There's no volume on this one either, so...
Oh, it's a game glitch.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
After all, Codemasters are now with him, so it's a Codemasters thing.
Unfortunately, if you are watching this on YouTube and you're not hearing the sound of the cars, I do apologize. Not quite sure.
There is some sound on my side at least. I can at least hear him. Whoa, what's that? The old, wow, when last did I see one of those? The old Sierra, wow. Frick, you all know, man, this is the stuff we grew up with.
This is like late 80s. I guess. Late 80s.
Yeah, and
into
then
the early
later
90s.
and then the fancy one, the Sapphire.
That was the bigger one with the boot.
And Sapphire
It
also.
wasn't a hatchback.
And Sapphire obviously with a stylish one and stuff as well, like you say, the boot. And yeah, that was also, I think, get more power and also a lot more luxury as well.
My father had one of those. A Sapphire.
Judgy says he can hear, there is sound, it's just not loud.
Okay. Let's see. Well, let me try something. Where's my remote?
I just hope Chen keeps his eye on the road and not going for the stuff that number plate of V suggest.
She had a fantastic race in Bathurst, led for a majority of that race.
Yeah,
Just, couldn't
that was close in the end.
Couldn't sustain the pace for 2 hours against Nismax.
But Bathurst, of course, yeah, Bathurst a car and also driver. That's right, Frick, that sounds better. XR8.
Somehow...
Wow, Jen is battling now big time. Into the pits we go.
Kimmy in the pits, Nismax in the pits.
Those
We're now out on
XR6 Cortinas, and then you had the XR3, those small hatchbacks as well. Yo. Hey man, now we're talking good old days. When looks like you're having his handful with AI, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that looks like an AI car. I have to take to the grass to make sure. Oh, and he loses the back end.
That's not what you want, not what you want in qualifying.
This AI is going to give the guys a hard time.
I think that it's just going to push.
And Nismax did close the gap to Muna. It's actually less than a second now. Oh, and the pig is just not in tonight. He's definitely not turned on tonight.
That one was a rough one. Just wants to get rid of what's left there.
Goes out again.
Straight away.
Doesn't look like he's repairing.
Showing some commitment, but on our screens, unfortunately, his car is it's not repairing. So
I really think if I look
I hope that's not what he sees.
If I look at the car and what he do and stuff, I believe Gav Peak tonight is pretty much Dilly Gav.
He's pulling his Gav.
No, he's definitely Dilly Gav. He's not even trying like he usually do. But then again, by this time the car so much damage, there's not a lot he can do.
Absolutely, that probably feels like like he's trying to race an ice cream truck.
Funny enough, that you would mention
to my TV remote, I've misplaced my TV remote.
It's like the GTA Sport, where you actually race with that old VW van, which is pretty much what the ice cream truck is built of. No, thank you. Don't want to race that stuff. Whoa,
there we go. I've got some sound.
Over. Yay! Finally. I could also hear the pig snoring. Because with the pace he's doing here at the moment, he's definitely asleep. It's not like him, because we all know he can be right in front there with the guys. I think we lost Not Kimmy. Yep, Not Kimmy is MIA.
He's missing. Obviously, he's just over 5 minutes remaining in the session. He can still rejoin as long as he gets back in.
I know he did add a DC as well in the practice session.
To get in the next 5 minutes. Start a new lap with Muna.
Just go through this grid.
Backing off.
Maybe my fellow commentator can help me here, but looks like this is the only Merc out there. Everyone else pretty much went for the BMs.
Let's just go through the field and make sure. There's Muna.
Let's make him Max.
Chen.
BM as well, yeah. Of course, AI
These
with a
are
Sierra.
AI.
Ah, there we go. There's a Merc.
It's also AI. So I think out of the human drivers,
It's
I think
only
it's the only one.
And there's another AI with a Merc. Yeah, no, definitely.
So-
Whoa! What do we have here? Something completely different.
Now what is this?
A Nissan. That looks like a Nissan from this angle.
I think that's a Nissan.
Yeah.
I think that's a Nissan.
Come, Judgy, you're expert. You're a Nissan fan. Tell us, me. But from looking and judging on roads, realize that looks like a Nissan. Needless to say, that's the only one. Sapphire is definitely the only one as well. So there's a couple of Mercs now thanks to the AI. But most of, well, yeah, if you think out of the 5 human races that started, it's only Muna on the Merc.
Feels like I'm commentating on F1, and as usual, Merc leads the way.
And this makes actually closed the gap a little bit more. Now from 19s to 18s.
Closing it a little bit.
Little by little.
Bit, each lap.
There we go,
But,
thanks Judge. I knew we can rely on you, confirming our R32 Skyline.
There we go. He's lying, he's probably went in game to check.
No, he's a big Nissan fan. He knows he's Nissan.
The order hasn't changed
what
at
they
the
say
front.
there in America? Nissan.
Nissan.
Nissan, there we go. Nissan.
Yeah, I learned that from my time in the States. Apparently, my pronunciation of Nissan was very funny to everyone.
Yeah.
So when asking how it should be pronounced,
Nissan.
I was answered with Nissan,
Nah,
to which I
fuck it,
laughed.
We'll take Nissan.
I'm not much interested in their version of Mazda either.
Yeah. Mazda. I mean, really,
Mazda.
come on. The way they
Mazda.
freaking.
Mazda.
Thanks, Judgy. Judgy is confirming again, of course. But just reminding us, because we obviously did see that at the beginning of the season. As per the league rules, the guys were banned to use the Skyline in the Audi, so it was limited to pretty much the BM and the Merc. So it's either BM or Merc. That was the quality in the beginning of the season. Gaspik now with a penalty. Sorry, but that doesn't come as a surprise. Cutting corners, banging into stuff, so that was due to happen. Just over a minute and a half to go of practice / qualifying.
Evan has picked up a 1 grid place penalty for his troubles. We haven't seen a return of not Kimmy.
It's actually
So
very
that's
nice to see the Sapphire again.
disappointing.
Yeah, it is unfortunately. It was
Livery,
actually
livery
nice
sort of
seeing him.
suits him.
He wasn't going to make the race, and then he pitched up, and now it looks like Connection is actually keeping him from the race.
It's connection and not electricity.
Well, mind you, we can't completely rule that out.
We don't know. There is
Exactly.
stage 2 load shedding out there. I'm not usually affected by load shedding, so I usually I don't check the schedules, and I've lost track of everything. But it's very possible that it could be affected by load shedding. What is the time? If it went off at like it's 20 past 8 now. Did he go off at 8? No.
No, it was actually after 8.
Ja.
Yep, is a Sierra. Ons het gepraat van die Sapphire nou. That's actually two of the nice monsters made by Ford back in the day. Funny enough, you never saw something similar to that. There was that Falcon where they go at, I mean in the 90s. But no, the Sierra and Sapphire was something, it was unique in its own way.
Also
of course, the Cortinas.
The Ford, I think I don't know, the last attempt they had at that would be the Mondeo. The Mondeo.
No, I didn't like it. That was.
And I didn't like it, but I know it was big in Australia. It actually sold pretty well in Australia.
Just waiting for the guys to finish their laps. Qualifying is officially over.
So as it stands, Nismax did take it right at the end. Look at the gap.
Wow.
Look at the gap. 700ths of a second.
Yo, 0.075.
Waiting right to I kind of wish I had all the drivers in
What
this
did
party
I say?
chat.
Why did I say at the
Because
beginning?
I'd love
I
to hear
said I
that.
call sandbagging. Because him and Bamuna are into the 144s, and Judge said that was a good time, but I did say that they can go faster, and sure they did. Yeah, that's right, Frick. The Sapphire came after the Sierra, but of course that Sapphire, when they came out, those cars looked very nice. I mean, it was something to drive the Sapphire.
For their time, they were quite fancy.
Yes, if you were driving a Sapphire, you would be viewed like someone with a with a $1 million BM today, for argument's sake. That's how nice they looked at their day.
I remember when my dad got his Sapphire. It was the first time I had seen electric windows. So
yeah, funny enough, that's also the first time I saw it. But Sapphires were something else.
And what's funny is the car before that, my dad had a BM, and it didn't have electric windows. There's something very similar to the shape you see right in front of you.
How things evolved.
My dad had a very similar chassis to this, also 2-door, same box shape, just it was a cabriolet.
There you go, qualifying
the roof came off.
Over.
So there's your results just before they disappeared. Nismax stole it at the end, 700ths of a second, Muna in second, but nothing in it.
Not Gimme is classified, so I'm not sure if he managed to come back there right at the end, but he shows.
He's classified as third. Then it's showing Chen in fourth, Gavin in fifth. Penalties will take.
Yep.
Kimmy gets a 2 grid place penalty, so that means he will be demoted from third to fifth.
No, Gav will stay fifth because he also got 1 grid place, so it's cancelled out. So it's just Chen and Kimmy that will swap.
Wonder if that doesn't mean Gavin's going to get an AI in front of him.
Yes, that's probably what's going to happen, exactly.
And you don't really want that. The last thing you want is fall into the
can actually
clutches
drop
of
2
the
places.
AI.
So Kimmy's going to go to 5, which means that AI, that Sierra that we've been looking at, is actually can move up a spot or 2. Interesting.
Could potentially start in front of both of them. So, last thing you want to do is in those opening stages of the lap, just fall back into the clutches of the AI and get involved in battles that you really shouldn't be.
and
getting your car,
AI and Viscount proved it before.
Getting the car damaged early on. I'm not quite sure about these names. I'm just gonna.
I was just about to think the same one. Number 10. Schoenberger. Surely that can't be Japanese.
Everyone here is South African or German, apparently. And then the bloke down in 10th. I mean, he's driving a Japanese car, so I get it. But the name, the game should have really. I haven't met that many Japanese people, but no. I definitely don't know anyone with that surname.
Definitely not.
So, just waiting now for the guys to finish up, for everyone to come back into the pits. Obviously, the next thing you will see, we will get some visuals on track. Clock will begin to count down. Guys will finalize their strategy.
It's like you talk about the cars with those names. If you take the judge's real name, imagine Frick, and you say he's in a Skoda and he's got a Polish flag. Come on, that just doesn't match.
Do you
how many Polish Fricks do you know? No ways.
I wonder if it's coincidence, or do you see a sort of a Kimi Alfa Romeo livery going there on the not Kimi.
That's actually very, very observant, nicely spotted, because that white and red, that's very close to that Alfa Romeo.
So I wonder if he planned that. I wonder if he looked for that car in particular.
Maybe that, well, he did say he didn't do any laps, but I mean, if he did by any chance and he saw that car, maybe that would have been the final motivation he needed to go to not Kimi. It's just quite interesting. Not Kimi, not Fernando. In one lobby. Here we go. Of course, as all of you will know, that timer did start running. Doesn't mean it's race time yet. That's obviously all part of the pre-race preps. That will reset and the race when will obviously start, and this will be a full hour from the race start, of course. But those of you who've been watching the whole season, you will know that already.
Be familiar with that because I think this is round 6 and I've repeated that 6 times. And if I repeated it 5, Jan repeated it the other time.
Exactly, so enough said. That's why I'm not even saying that those guys can comment. They know they must comment. Luckily we've got the judge here keeping us company with all his comments. Funny enough, I didn't see any smart comments as yet from him. But I like the last one there, saying that that livery was that for not Kimmy, that was the closest livery you could get to pink. After all, red and white does make pink.
I'm just going through the camera views, trying to get a... Not very familiar with the circuit, haven't done any laps of it. But looks like there's quite a run down to turn 1 from where they start. So could be interesting in turn 1.
Definitely.
Guys are able to
get... no. So AI did not jump. Gaff Pig went up to 4th and not Kimmy to 5th.
Okay, let's get to your trackside camera for the start of this race. We'll be underway.
And go! This match a little bit slow there. Muna with a fantastic getaway again, side by side. Tenway right behind him. Muna's going to go on the inside. But Nismax is not going to let him go. Nismax stay. Nismax will surely have a better line next time round. But these two are going again. There we go. Nismax actually in front. Chen holding on to them. That Sierra AI Scarpy driver actually made it up to 4th. Got past not Kimmy and past Gaff.
Germans ruling up front. It's BMW followed by Merc, followed by a BMW. Nismax leads from Muna, from Chen. We've got Gavin down in 5th place. Didn't have the best possible start, just having a bit of off-track time there.
Yeah, he and not Kimmy's going to battle there.
When he got going, he got a bit more than a tap from an AI. Got going a bit slowly, and wouldn't be surprised if he's got some damage to the rear end.
Right on this Max. Oh, there we go. Talk about love taps. The Pig and Kimmy.
Where is Gavin? I'm trying to find him.
Way off. He went off.
There we go. Well, my camera can't find him. He's gone. He's right at the end. My camera's trying to find him. I see a cone on its side.
There we go. This car looks pretty much the same as what he was in qualifying. But not Kimmy at least.
The mirror's broken. I've never seen that before.
And not Kimmy actually in 6th place, so he dropped down 1 spot there. Luckily he could keep it together. More than what we could say about the Pig, who completely went off and smashed another barrier on his way.
Kept the car facing in the right direction. Now his next goal will be to pass the 2 AIs in front of him, 4th and 5th, so he can start to challenge
give me a little bit
3.
of the aggressive side, but then again, what do you expect with these AIs? You give him back what they give to you.
Maybe that's got something
inside, there we go. Not give me up to 5th.
Something to do with the name change. Maybe going to be a little bit more
aggressive,
more ruthless.
We see something else from me.
Not Mr. Nice Guy, was he? There's Max still in 2nd, Winner still leads, Chen still in 3rd. We've got not Kimmy, I almost said not Fernando. Why would it be not Fernando? I'm not Fernando. not Kimmy
You're
in 6th.
You're in the box, you're not in the car. There's always not, because there's even talks about not Maverick.
Yeah, there's even talks of a not Maverick emerging.
Sounds like a Triple X parody movie.
Don't know if that's gonna happen. No, Captain Nice is gonna change his name to his favorite.
No ways.
He's decided on quite a controversial one.
Yeah, Dirky Rambuli at 7.
I don't agree with it, but it's his name. He can do what he wants.
Dirky Rambuli.
Johan will now be known as not Palmer.
You wish.
I just hope they don't send that guy here to say
one of my least favorite F1 drivers of all time.
Because the Renault team is confirmed to come to Johannesburg in March, but the driver is not confirmed. So I'm just hoping Julian Palmer doesn't make an appearance.
No.
For Renault.
My day will be spoiled. Will be spoiled. Oh, Nissi takes the inside as Muna runs wide. Let's back into the lead.
Nicely done. Just capitalised. Muna ran wide, got a bit of grass.
I must say, I like Dirkie Rambuli. It's got a nice sound to it. Oh, now Nismax runs wide.
He has a turn at running wide. But he's unable to capitalise and pass him, but he's able to close that gap a lot. So I think all the advantage Nismax was able to gain has pretty much been neutralised.
And Chen staying in touch with him, not that far off. I mean, if he's in the perfect position, if he's to, for argument's sake, make contact like we just saw with a Pig and not Kimi. So he will be gaining a lot if he's to have an accident.
It's all up to Nismax. Yeah, if Nismax is able to clear away, that'll be one thing. But if Muna is able to keep up pace, they're gonna trip over themselves eventually. Or even if you're driving as cleanly as possible and there is no contact, you're gonna be slowing each other down. So that's gonna bring third place right into it. Let's have a look further back.
Botha and not Kimi still in 6.
Kimi is in 6th. Gavin has left.
Give the building, yeah. I thought as much. The way he was driving after that crash, he was definitely going to go on his way out. But then again, he was not in any way to start with, so I didn't expect him to last long, to be honest.
That he didn't sound motivated to start the race. So not a surprising result. Chen still in 3rd, running a little bit wider than he'd like over there. Still trying to stay with these top 2, doing a good job. Just 4 seconds down the road.
Bit of a mistake. We saw him falling back now there. Of course, went a little wide there, hit a few cones. And here we go, Muna having a look on the inside, but not enough of a proper run out there. So Nismax always had that covered. But as always, these two staying in touch with each other. Making sure you're on the rear bumper of that front car. Ach, no, Judge. Come on, what's wrong with you? Not Maldonado.
Not Maldonado?
Yes.
Well, who's that, for Judge?
Probably.
I think that would be perfect for the Judge.
Oh, my word.
Not Maldonado. I love it. I mean, the whole Fernando thing originated because of him, so I should be able to name him. So
yeah, true that, mind you. It was always him who called you Fernando, mind you.
You know, the whole Fernando thing originated with that man in the comment section. So nobody ever called me Fernando until that day. So, but yeah, and luckily that's not my name, because it almost was, if family tradition had its way. But then I would have had a very unfortunate pairing of first and second names.
If I hear Fernando, I think of as one band. One of my friends hates with a passion, and they must have the song, "Can you hear the drums, Fernando?"
I know what band that is.
And not everybody liked him. Some people to this day hate him.
No, my parents were fans.
Oh my word. Some interesting times.
My parents were fans. Not
of course,
Kimi.
Of course, A and a B and a B and a A. Come Kimi pushing, trying to chase down that Sierra.
Well,
Scarpy.
I almost got it right. The other day I renamed Muna to Munez. Because he's apparently Mexican, and if you have a look at the side of that car, I just got the first letter wrong, because apparently it's Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez. And you were and N and M is right next to each other, so very close.
So Muno will now be known as not Nunes. And everyone will say, who's Nunes? I almost dropped the F-bomb, but I didn't.
Otherwise, just for good measure, just call him Nunus.
I'm not calling him that. But Chen now starting to fall adrift of the top two. 7.5 seconds now the gap.
With these guys, because these guys now pretty much in the groove, doing what we do race after race, keeping each other honest and pulling away from the rest of the group.
Not challenging each other too much, just
waiting for that opportunity. That mistake will eventually come. I mean, another 50 minutes to go, so long time.
Saw Gavin had a bit of a rough race earlier, but even the guys here in front, we've seen them run wide, we've seen them get some grass shot up in the air. The mistake always comes, and it's a long race.
Ooh, Muna was having a thought about it. He's definitely eyeing that corner there. Dumping on the inside, Nesmax taking the outside.
It's impressive as he's able to stay really close.
You know what, you say Gav Pig had a rough race, and I mean if you look at the damage, all the collisions he had in that short space of time he was in the race plus his practice, or qualifying, does it mean we can call him not rough rider?
Well, considering what that car looked like after two laps, these two guys are going at it like crazy, and
already
neither one of them have a scratch on their cars.
That gap between them and Chen is now approaching 10 seconds.
Just proves it is possible to drive on project cars without contact. Neither of these drivers have any damage, any scuff marks. Which means all the passing has been done properly.
However, now will be a good time to touch the lining of the roof here, the roof lining, just for good measure, because we don't want the commentator's curse now to come out here again.
Chen still in third, doing a good job, just keeping it consistent. Kimi still trying to get up there to the top three. See, he's going to be pretty new to this car. Don't know if he's fibbing or not, but if his words are to be believed, he has not had a lot of track time.
No.
In this particular car or on this particular track.
But looks like now the couple of laps, it's actually now starting to fall in place for him. As he gets used to it, he's getting closer and closer to that Sierra.
Sort of a natural, very much like the Munna. Can pick up just about any racing game and beat you from the beginning. So just running wide there, gonna cost him a bit of time.
He rocks up out of nowhere, do a race with you, win the race, disappear again, comes back, win the race, disappear again. It's like Munna and Nismax also there. Once these guys, any racing game, they just immediately turn on, doesn't matter.
Nismax now opening up that gap at the front. It's bigger than we've seen it before.
Oh, and Munna runs
3
wide,
seconds.
on the grass there.
Having a rough time. Let's have a look at that.
Couple of mistakes now. That's why they were the change the big gap now because of some errors.
No visible damage to the car. Maybe just some time off track in the gravel or running wide.
Just went wide.
We missed it. It obviously happened while we were riding on board with Chen. Not Kimi still down in 5th place. As Max leads, that gap 5 seconds now. And it seems to just drop the ball somewhere. Just needs to get his head down and start working away at that gap.
Jy weet Frik, het klink of jy dwergie tol praat. Oh, Butler's, what's it, Butler's scream? No.
Must be the...
So I think Gaffpick took the Butlers, he took the wrong Butlers with him in that car, that's why he couldn't drive tonight. He was zonked already.
Gavin lost the plot a while ago. But,
Cheers, Varky.
Winners in second. 4 seconds is the gap, so he has
Actually,
been able to bring it down. Bring it down slightly. That gap was at 5
but
seconds.
As we say, he's going off again.
I'm actually just
getting a handful.
Gonna get off that car.
That will open up a gap again.
Every time he starts shaking, I'm gonna get off that.
But
seems like as soon as I
really starts
falling
back now. Chen is now 13 seconds off here.
Not Gimme has been able.
Yes, he's past the Sierra. There we go.
To clear that Sierra, so he's up into fourth, and he will be on his way after Chen. That gap is 12 seconds. He's got a free track ahead of him, so he's gonna get some clean laps and try and close that down. Gap's 12 seconds. Then Chen is 9 seconds adrift.
As always, having a lonely race.
Of Munna. And then Munna just 4 seconds down the road from your leader, Nismax.
You know what, with a gap as it is, this might be an opportunity for Missy to start saving some fuel, maybe stretch that pit stop strategy a bit.
This is where strategy can come into play. 45 minutes remain on the clock. So I think the pit stops will probably most likely come at around halfway for majority of the drivers.
Just before halfway, more or less, yeah. But between 30, 40 remaining, yeah.
Either just before or just after. If you use this time to conserve some fuel, might not have to put so much fuel in. We know the pit stops play a huge part in this.
I think Nismax has got a problem. Big error, or he slowed down, but Munna is right on the back of him again.
Let's get a driver's perspective. Like I said earlier, not very familiar with the circuit. It's like a
Brands Hatch kind of
typical, thing. I want to say typical British circuit, because when I look at it, I'm seeing the Brands Hatch environment. So
exactly, because even look at this corner as well, and now it comes on the start finish, and then diving here to the right. It reminds you a lot of Brands Hatch. So I agree with you. I've got the same view. Typical British.
Is this a fictional track?
I have no idea.
Because I know this game doesn't Project Cars 2 have a fictional version of Monte Carlo. It's just called something else.
Watching even this corner, and there's a bit of a corner there. This can actually be a fictional track of Brands Hatch here.
I'm pretty sure this is a fictional track, either exactly like Brands Hatch or very much based on Brands Hatch. I haven't actually seen the outlay of the track. I'm very unprepared for this race, I must say.
With a lot of corners here, it actually reminds you of Brands Hatch.
We're going now through chicane. Really been able to close up that gap just a second.
Chen is in the pits, there we go. We actually have an earlier pit stop in what we suspected. With like 43 to go, Chen is in.
Ooh, a little bit too much of the curb there. It's got a sausage curb there. So if you take too much curb, you jump up in the air. Like you saw Nismax do there. Not Kimmy now, he's in third. He's been promoted by that pit stop. Gonna want to make the most of it now. Just all this time with a empty track ahead of him. No AI to mess him around.
Of course, 2 races ago we saw what he can do by stopping that much later.
See, now in a race of his own, could really come down to strategy. Last thing I want to do is commentator's curse, but no penalties for anyone just yet. So good driving by everyone so far. 20 minutes almost into the race.
This is that Sierra, if I'm not mistaken, who bought you. Yeah, Roger's Cup, here we go.
Get a bit of a view of that Sierra dash.
Yeah, it brings back memories. Tonight is like taking a trip down memory lane with these cars.
Let's just have a look at the timing screens, just so we can have a look at who's
Not
doing
a lot
what.
between those two base laps either. Wow. As always, these guys are literally like a couple of tenths or hundreds or even sometimes a thousand or two away from each other. Very close there.
If you've been familiar with the racing, familiar with the league, you'll be familiar with those two names on top, and you'll see that like that last lap, Nismax, he was 8 tenths faster, but those will switch back and forth, and you'll get a lap where Muna is 8 tenths faster. That last lap not give me a 154, so definitely he made a mistake somewhere along the line. Wants to get those laps back down. His best is a 148.6, so not quite on the pace of the two leaders just yet. Could be on a very different strategy. We stay away from the one button that I have here on my screen called Speedo.
Yeah,
I don't press that because I also like the mystery of not knowing who's got what fuel.
Keeps everybody guessing.
Sometimes if you look at those Speedo and there is no mistakes, then you can predict things. Max still leads, and still second, gap 7 tenths of a second. What's going to be interesting now is with all of this AI, and just there, I just brought it up and there it is.
One in front of him, yeah.
With all of this AI, they're going to start lapping these guys, and they're going to lap them more than once by the time this race is over. So this battle, if it's separated by less than a second, it could seriously be affected by either way. You know, Nismax could get by cleanly and Winner could have a terrible time with the AI, or vice versa. AI could give Nismax all sorts of trouble and let Winner on his way. We've seen it happen. It's completely dismantled battles, and see what happens. They
Winner
need
going off the track again.
To approach this AI with caution.
I see Judgy actually asked a question. The Judge, we actually saw him going into the pits, and actually while in the pits he started dropping position, so I don't know if it's just purely the pits or if there might have been a mistake on his way out. But he's at the moment right at the back, and not too long ago he was in third place.
Just go back to your trackside camera. I'm getting back on that Sierra for some reason. Not Kimmy. He's in third. Still making his way. Like he's going to get a podium out of this. He didn't expect much out of this.
Nope.
It's what he said about Monday night, a race he won. Still getting ever closer to that AI. Wonder if either one of these are thinking of pitting. They've taken their time catching up to this car. Ooh.
Oh, look, Chen had it off there. Yeah, there we go, that's Chen behind him. Looks like that's actually Chen, it's not an AI, that's Chen that they actually left.
I actually thought, sorry about that, Chen. I was wondering why they were having such a tough time catching the AI.
Yeah, because it's not an AI, it's Chen. It's faster than the AI. And of course, that was not really off as much, it was him getting out of the way of these two.
Let's just have a look
at it. He don't want to be in their way.
Chen, the next car up the road from him is an AI. 15 seconds up the road, so I don't think the leaders need to worry for a while. Catching the next guy in the queue.
Trying to put Nismax under pressure here. If you can do that, you can pass. Oh, and Muna's going to go on the inside. Nismax was a little bit wide there, and the Muna's actually got it. Now he puts a wheel off track, but he's going to be able to hold on. And even Chen wanted to Chen is actually fancy his chances here with Nismax as well. Trying to unlap himself.
Chen's in a difficult spot because we saw a couple of laps earlier. He was in third. Not so long ago, he was in third place and he was doing a good job. of holding on to these two. So I think when he's going well, he's pretty quick and he can hold on. But now they're a lap apart. He can't pass them. The last thing he wants to do is really get involved in the battle. And best way to unlap himself is to just drop back a little bit, give them some space, and wait for them to pit.
Of course, the judge would want to know what happened to Chen, because obviously him and Chen was leading the constructors. And with load shedding happening, he's relying on Chen to get some solid points here for the team.
The constructors being heavily affected by hashtag ESCOM.
Yay.
Let's just see. I need to get my comments section up so I can read what Dirk is saying.
He's actually, like always, he had a lot to say.
That's good. Not at the racetrack, unfortunately, but still playing his part.
Definitely still supporting. And he's commenting. But of course we saw the same on Tuesday night as well there with F1 at midweek racing as well. Of course, I mean, if you look at the guys that actually cropped up and actually were part of the comments, they were not able to race, but they were still there. They were part of it in some way. Always nice to see a bit of camaraderie between the guys. Of course, afterwards you can actually have a nice braai and a drink together. You still be friends. That's the key thing here.
Those positions at the front have obviously now switched to Brown. Nismax is the man in second. Will he look to make a move? 34 minutes remain on the clock.
Just going Muna under the lights.
Wonder if he's maybe listening to the commentary. There are 5 people watching the stream, so he could very well be one of them. And as I say, that Muna has run very wide. Muna's run very wide. That's allowed Nismax to go through, gone through cleanly, and opened a 1.3 second gap in the process. I think that gap might even get a little bit bigger as Muna takes a bit of time to get some heat into those tyres again. He went into the gravel and picked up all sorts of dirt he didn't want to. Gap 1.8 seconds. Not Gimme still in third, doing a good job. He's 41 seconds adrift of the Muna. So he's in a race of his own. It's all about concentration. Not much out there on track to keep you awake. Keep yourself awake.
Daniel, there's free popcorn, but you popping it, mate.
Free popcorn? You heard there was free popcorn? Hey, I've been doing this forever and I never got free popcorn.
Free popcorn, so same here.
I'm just saying, so if that's the case, I'm still waiting for my popcorn.
Yeah, it's like someone asked on Tuesday night as well on the stream here with F1. Yeah, how much you get paid for commentary? Guys, this is just a passion.
Oh, listen,
you do it for free.
Listen,
you don't even get free popcorn. You just do it for nothing.
Listen, if we got paid for commentary, we'd have some pretty pricey nights.
Oh yes.
Okay. There's been some nights where we've restarted lobbies 3-4 times, where we finished way after 10, way after time.
And batters add 2 hours endurance race plus a lobby that need to be restarted. Yeah.
This is just a love for motorsport and an excuse to talk about motorsport once a week and to watch these guys drive. I never bought this game with any intention of playing it. When I bought it, it was with the intention of doing what exactly I'm doing. I have driven it though, but it's just not my favorite.
I will admit, I will admit it. I'll tell you straight. I'm cuck with this game. That's why I'm not on that side. I'm on this side.
I didn't want to use blunt words, but yeah.
At least this way, I at least enjoy the game. If I was on track, I would have been swearing, would have got frustrated, and I would have already chucked it out the window.
And Captain Ice then doesn't control his temperature as his name suggests.
Yeah, not if you're on track behind the wheel.
He boils up
that radiator just
under
won't
the collar
explode
very quickly. Nisbek still leads the race, just half a second, so these two keep
still
on...
there. Did well to recover
on,
from that mistake, but he's definitely staying there with Nisbek like we always do.
Every now and then,
but they're always swapping places somewhere. It's a common thing for these two.
It's always a mistake somewhere. They give the other a breather, and the other just comes back, and then.
Oh, and as we say again. That Nisbek runs wide, and Muna reclaims the lead.
Well, that doesn't help. I was looking at the wrong screen. Oh, too many screens.
And actually, there's a gap of over a second just with that passing. That's how much Nisbek has slacked off with that wide entry to that corner.
When you made the announcement on the pass, I was like, what is he talking about? And I was looking at the screen that's got the stream. So it's a couple of seconds behind. I had no idea what you were talking about for a second there. I thought this guy's gone off on his own mission. Now,
Chen and Muna again.
Wow. No problems there. Manages to get by pretty easily. Hopefully it will be the same story for Nismax.
I believe that's Chen because I haven't seen any other BM like that.
Gets out of the way. 0.8 of a second. Doesn't look like he had too much of an effect on that gap. Still under a second. We're playing. Ooh. Muna has run wide, very wide.
Daniel, I don't think it's a donut. I think that was more a rum and coke. That's why he went off. Only a rum and coke can make the Nismax go dive bomb like that into the distance. And looks like we got Nismax in the pits. There we go. Nismax pitting.
Crucially, just before this pit stop, Muna made a big mistake. He went off into the gravel and lost about 2 seconds. So, see how long is he going to be stationary? We'll keep our eyes on that. Muna's on track with Chen, and this is now crucial time for Muna.
But is this Chen? No, it's not Chen because where we see there's two of those BMs the same livery, so that's AI. That explains everything. Because Chen will never do that. Chen almost drove his car into the wall just to get out of a guy's way, so he will not challenge her. That is AI confirmed.
Nismax gets on his way. He's not out of the pit lane yet. He's going to have to maintain that speed limit for now, while Muna races around the racetrack with everything he has.
Going to have to try to make up some sort of time here to try to come out in front. But also you don't know what fuel rate they started on, what they're putting in at the stop.
Only problem is if they are on very similar strategies, I think that could have played very badly in against Muna. He obviously had that altercation with the AI during the pit stop. That's when you should be making up most of your time, not
like
batting
you said, just before the stop there was also that mistake. Which put him back
just
into
before
second.
the stop, further 2 seconds. So does lead for now. We're gonna keep an eye on him.
Mr. Nunes.
See how long it takes before he decides to come into the pits.
Mr. Nunes 303.
That's right, Nunes, not Nunes, apparently.
I told you earlier. Nunes, man. Nismax now 42 seconds behind, of course chasing down Muna still to stop.
Give you a bumper view of the circuit. Ride with
not
Kimmy. Just keep your eyes on they're on the list. Just want to make sure on Muna. Leads the race by 41 seconds, and obviously he needs to come into the pits. Don't know how long that pit stop's going to take. How long will he stay out there? Obviously now his car is going to be lighter than Nismax's, I presume.
And not Kimi is pitting.
effort. Not Kimmy comes into the pits. That was, I was going to say, the man in third. Gone down to fourth. Immediately demoted by the AI. Winner still leads this race. Approaching AI himself. Maybe if you're thinking of hitting in the next lap or two and you see a whole handful of AI in front of you, it might just be in your best interest to pit early. And miss them all together. And as Max will know, this is a crucial part of the race. Needs to give it everything. Needs to have some of his best laps right here.
Oh, not giving out with a penalty as well.
Chen also had a penalty earlier on. That penalty, I can confirm, I had a look, it was a 1 second penalty at the time. But we know these things can increase. And then now going through on the AI, just going around the outside. I hope that's AI and it's not a human driver, I just presume it is, sorry. And as Max, that gap hasn't really changed. Like I say, it's a crucial time for both of them, and I think Winner just lost a little bit more time. He lost out a little bit more there, especially on that in-lap. Not in-lap, but while Nizmax was in the pits, he was having a struggle of his own. When he should have really been making the most of it. Let's just get some confirmation on those penalties. Last time I checked, Chen had a 1 second penalty, and that was the only penalty. Oh wow.
50.
Okay.
Yo. Not sure exactly what he did.
Getting a 50-second penalty, it seems pretty strong. It's wow, okay. And then Chen still just a 1 second penalty, so that penalty hasn't increased from the last time we saw it.
And we are now under 24 minutes to go.
We have passed half race distance. This leader of yours still to pit. Not sure what his strategy is. I didn't bother asking him because he'd just lie. I don't think any of these drivers would tell me what their strategy is. I mean, I'd probably come on here and blurt it out at some stage.
Yeah,
when I ran out of things to say.
Yeah, they will never play their cards before. You'll always hear about it afterwards.
If you listen to Nizmax, Muna, RZDV, people like that, you'll believe these guys should be like being lapped and 5 laps behind by the end of the race, the way they talk before a race.
Mid-time, and yet it's the other way around. They lap you before the end of a race, and you like how many laps down. That's why whatever they say before a race, I do not listen to it. Oh, thanks for that, Judgy confirming. Looks like not Kimi was speeding in the pit lane. So it's a harsh one. 50 seconds is harsh. That's really harsh.
Judge just commenting there, it's a bit harsh. I think 50 seconds, you know.
I mean, if you look at F1, you get only 5 seconds.
50 seconds basically eliminates you from the race.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, how are you going to find a minute? Because that's basically what it is. It's 10 seconds short of a minute.
That is actually something that was mentioned in recent times. The whole penalty system of this specific game.
It's a bit silly because if you're in a 1 hour endurance race, and just look at the situation we have here with first and second place, they're basically matching each other's lap time. So, if I were to come on here and have a 1 hour endurance race and match these two on pace and get a penalty like that, it would effectively eliminate me from the race.
Yep.
Regardless of how quick you are, there's just absolutely nothing you can do to come back from a penalty like that. And if you've got a full grid, it's going to be a tough day.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily today that is not the case. I think Chen, Kimi, Nismax and Munas are just the 4 drivers.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're a human driver finishing in 11th today, you will pick up points for 4th place. Valuable points on offer. Going into this version, what is this? Season 2 version 1. What? Season 2.1, I guess? Version 2. Season 2.1. Is it round 1 or round 6? Guess it's round 6.
Just as you think Muna's losing momentum, tires are going off, the gap goes back up to 40 seconds.
Almost looks like guys are getting a little bit cleaner on these cars. The opening laps
And of course,
look a bit skirmish for everybody.
The longer he stays out, the less fuel you need to take at his stop. The more the possibility of him coming out first.
That gap 40 seconds when they emerged from the pits, it was 41 seconds. So it stayed more or less in the same region. Nobody's really made any gains or any losses. It's all give or take the same right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not Kimi, he's in 6th place, but he's got a very harsh penalty on his name. I'm not sure if he's aware of that or not. And then Chen's down in 8th, also with just 1 second penalty. Fastest lap for the race so far.
Think he's free getting moeg. Judge, are you referring there to the 3 legs? The middle of the 3 legs?
Having a bit of a spelling adventure there, Judge.
Hey, it's always an adventure with him and his spelling.
I was a bit confused when I read it. That's why I didn't read it out. I was like, I'm not sure. I thought he was just speaking like old fancy English, like you know, like think to thee something, and then I was like, what? No, this is Judge.
He's a sim racer, he's no Shakespeare.
He'd probably be the one to unbox the P-word in a Shakespeare.
What? Now he's probably going to quote a Shakespeare or something, and like you say, incorporate his favourite word in there as well.
I know. I mean, unfortunately, I'm commentating on an open stream, but I can get really creative with this sort of stuff. Could really make a whole bunch of Shakespearean quotes with
Hey Daniel, just for you.
With the use of that word. And if there is any sensitive readers in our comment section, which I very much doubt there is.
18 minutes now to go. Muna still staying out there. Gap is not coming down rapidly, but he's hovering at the 38 second mark again.
I am correct that the pit stop is mandatory, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to stop.
So if there is a way to make it the whole way, you can't do that, yeah?
I have to at least come for a splash and dash.
Could very well be doing that, taking it very, very late, and just throwing on the softest compound, a little bit of fuel, just to finish things off, and then he's gonna have a quick car towards the end. Obviously, Nismax will also be light on fuel, but Minute might just have that advantage of
the fresher rubber as well.
The fresher rubber, and maybe even a softer compound if he needs it for a shorter period of time.
Well, just now under 17 minutes, I would think he probably would consider softer compound.
Could throw the softer compound on there.
And Muna's in the pits. Muna have pitted. There we go. Let's just see with Nismax where he's going to come out. Will it be in front or behind the Muna? having some battles with AI at the most crucial time. We saw the same with Muna when Nismax came to pit. AI not making it easy for these guys.
Muna is in the pits. I think he's finished.
He's on his way.
Stop.
He's on his way already.
Right. He's on his way now.
Stopping so late, you don't need to stop that long. And it's actually working for him. Here we go. Nismax coming down the starting line. There we go. Muna's in front.
There we go. He's going to get back up to racing speed. And Nismax is coming around turn 1 and he's jumped him.
Nismax will have to do it on track if he's going to do something. But of course, like you said earlier, Muna is in the better position, fresher rubber.
I think, if my theory is correct, I think that Muna should have this superior car right now in terms of grip.
Definitely.
See if he went that way. To the only 2 drivers with penalties, keeping each other company, 6th and 7th. Chen will obviously be promoted. As things stand, Chen will pick up points for 3rd place.
His penalty is much smaller compared to that one.
He will pick up points for 3rd place, which is not bad considering he got double points for 2nd place 2 weeks ago in Bathurst. I'm not entirely sure, but I have heard around that round 10 might yeah.
There we go. I was waiting for it.
I'm gonna say it because you know what, people talk and you put me on here and say talk for an hour. So yeah, apparently, and I don't think it's a bad idea.
Look at that comment stream. Look at that comment stream there, Mr. J-Man. Daniel actually gooid as a Shakespeare there, and the judge came with his favorite word. I was waiting for that. Nice one, James. Nice one. Daniel playing as Shakespeare, not the judge, but the judge not disappointing us.
Yeah, no, he just needs to put in the little underscore.
Yeah.
And then
not underscore Shakespeare.
It will definitely get TNB approval.
Definitely.
Muna's still leading this race.
3 seconds. Nismax did close it down a little bit, but 13 minutes to go. It's going to take good effort for him to first chase down Muna and then to get past him.
Remember the
it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass.
The one and only Nissan in the field. He is now the AI that separates the leaders. I'm actually looking for him on track. Where is he?
There's Chen.
Come, cameraman. This is not good.
This is pathetic. This is like Sky Sports going to Vietnam. Not happening.
Apparently, RTL Sports in Germany is doing the same thing. They will not be attending if the Grand Prix does in fact take place. So
but that's sad. You wait all this time, you finally get your debut Grand Prix, all that effort and stuff to get the track ready, and now something like this happens.
We might get some footage with obscure commentary, and that will be the only way we can watch the race if it does in fact happen. Don't know. Just over 10 minutes remaining on the clock, 12 and a half to be exact. Muna is the leader of the race, leads by 3 seconds. That gap hasn't really changed.
He's popped under 3 seconds.
There's no longer an AI separating those 2 drivers, so Nismax will be able to see Muna clear ahead of him. Neither one of them looks to have any damage on their car. Both have had pretty clean races, other than just running wide here and there onto the grass. Nothing serious, no barriers, no contact between them. And a good job so far. Chen will pick up points for 3rd. and not give me even with
And
that.
Nesmax is still gaining, and I think it might be because of his AI that Muna is battling with, because the gap is now actually under 2 seconds.
Yeah, I can really throw things in the mix. Obviously, we don't know that gap 1.8 seconds, it was 3 seconds, so took a second out of the gap. Now, what sort of...
I think Nesmax would have liked what he saw there, but now he must get past the AI, and he actually does get a much better slingshot past the AI than Muna.
Gets past the AI on
so he's the biggest winner between the two there, but Muna actually managed to pull away again. Hovering there at 2 seconds.
Gap is 2 seconds. Gap was 3 seconds. So
we're gonna have a flat out dice here in the last 10 minutes.
These two amaze me week after week. How you start next to each other on the grid, race independently for 1 hour, and then a couple of seconds. It's pretty impressive.
Daniel, I just need to correct you again. Nesmax don't get laser focus. Ask not Fernando. He gets rum focused.
Yeah, that's right. He gets the eye of the captain, not Captain Ice, the other captain, the spicy one. And then there's no beating him. I've actually tried it, you know. The one day I thought, you know, I'll give it a go. I'm gonna pour myself a strong rum and coke, and I'm gonna go into this F1 race. And yeah, Q1 was so short.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work for everybody.
So
this is Nesmax's trick. That's his carbo loading before the race.
He's carbo loading. But actually another driver who also does so-called carb loading before a race.
And his personal trainer, Uncle Charles. Yeah, but Nesmax did lose some time again to Vimuna. Focus, but Vimuna is actually just controlling this, keeping that gap there back to 3 seconds. Just over 9 minutes to go.
Still holding things together. He's been able to pull the gap back up, crucially. I said he should have passed the car in the closing laps.
Look like starting to pay dividend now.
Say I'm not going to...
Because Nesmax at the moment is finding it difficult to keep up with him. Because that 2 second gap actually opened up. Oh, Muna runs a bit wide. Mistakes like that can actually change it very quickly. So just need to be a little bit careful. Just stay focused here for this last 8.5 minutes.
She did a good job of holding everything together there. You know how quickly that what we saw there could have gone wrong. Could have turned into something much bigger. If it was me, I would have probably gone to track the moment I felt the back of the car though. So.
The car could have ended up like Gaffbeek's car.
I know that would have been difficult.
Hey, looks like the judge is busy there with like a spelling class or something. Nesmax is a demon in final. Is Nesmax a demon in final stages? Are you trying to tell us, or are you asking us, Mr. Judge?
I think Judge is having some
buffles.
Problems.
He's being a real buffle tonight.
He's sitting in the dark with his power bank and his phone.
Yeah, because that's all there's nothing around him. No power. Eskom's sorted him out there. Just sitting there probably with his tablet and like you say, the power bank, watching the race.
They have sent him on a motorsport vacation. A forced one.
Yeah, he's only got a 2-week break rather than just a 1 week.
Oh, and Judge, just in case you were wondering before you ask, it's unpaid. There's nothing in the budget. Commentators haven't been paid since day one.
Yeah, and that's like forever.
Never done it for pay. I actually got offered pay once, but I actually never got it. So
Judge might do a Nismax way, Daniel, but his drink of choice is actually the other one. The brandy one.
I say one of these days we get him in here in the compost.
Hey, imagine the judge in the comms box. Oh my word.
That could be a very, very interesting evening, and it won't be anything about the racing. It will all be happening in the comms box. As long as you don't invite Gavin back up here.
Whoa, no, I'm not going to do that. I did it once with F1, I will not do it again.
I heard you had Rob with you the other night.
Hey, that actually went well. Rob managed to keep an eye on the battles, spot the battles, and at the right time I could actually cut over. Very good spotter.
Very good spotter.
Okay, speaking of poor Rob, I wonder how things turned out. Shame, the poor guy who sits with a broken thumb. So much so he potentially would require surgery to have it fixed.
Very young into a potential cricket career, getting a injury that requires surgery. It's 3 weeks into it. Not the ideal start, but something you're going to face. If that's what your career is going to be, that's going to be your hardships. It's going to be injuries, and
that's it.
Trying to keep fit and healthy and on the field rather than off it. So hope whatever the outcome there is, hope he has a
Judgy, auto-correcting, you are not French.
Yeah.
He likes a rumor now and then. It sounds like a real gossip chick.
Whatever the outcome there is, I hope he has a speedy recovery and
gap
he's
under
back
2.5 seconds now.
Back on the cricket field in no time.
Yeah, you just need to stay focused, persevere, still do the German stuff, don't put a lot of load on it, and still do the other stuff. Keep yourself in shape. When it's finally there, you can continue.
Just over 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Lap around here.
Likes the whiskey. Whiskey, no thank you. Not my cup of tea.
Maybe 3 laps. Maybe 2. 4 minutes remaining. That's your leader. So yeah, 2 laps.
Yeah, 2 laps. Maybe 3, depending where we are on track.
Munna still leads. Gap still 3.6 seconds. Holding it stable for now. They've each had their moments running wide.
Judge, you blame your tab, but you know what they say. A poor workman always blames his tools. So you can blame the tab as much as you want, but at the end of the day we know it's you controlling the tab, so
probably doesn't hold.
Gap went back up to 3.5, so as much as close it opens up again, it pretty much stays there. 3 minutes to go, unless something really goes south here. I think this is pretty much our race finish versus how we're going to finish.
Probably doesn't help that Judge's tablet has been fully submerged in alcohol more than once.
Yeah,
so,
true that.
Probably doesn't help with the functionality or the Wi-Fi. But
and Munna was the only guy who went for Merc. At the end of the day, that was a good call by the looks of it. The BM look a handful in some of the guys' hands, yeah. Mona just made it look so easy in this haha, yo, beep beep beep, yeah. Don't work out, Buffalky. I got him to say it again.
Absolutely love it.
But Judge is now coming out again. Judge is on fire. He took his sweet time.
Don't worry, you don't have to type it as one word. YouTube algorithm doesn't pick up that word. I've checked.
Oh, Judge would like that. Judge, now that's music to Judge's ears.
YouTube algorithm doesn't pick that word up. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Munna goes over the line.
Gap is open to 4 seconds. Looks like Nismax is now struggling with both tyres. Munna's got the fresher rubber. Oh, he just decided to slack down, not risk the car, make sure he brings it back in second. second is better than no finish at all.
4 seconds. Munna still has to put the power down. The gap isn't big enough. I think that means we are still going to get another lap. They went over the line with 2 minutes remaining. Lap around here, 150 more or less. So unless they really slow down.
I hope Mrs. Judge is not watching the stream of his comments. Otherwise there might be some trouble in paradise.
The tablet might be flying.
That will be the last of spell check issues on that tab.
That's the last time it got submerged in brandy. It got thrown. I imagine Fricky's house, Judge's house, with just cooler boxes of like pre-mixed alcohol. like he had at Kailami that day.
Kailami 9 hours.
You just walk into his kitchen, open a cupboard, grab a glass, and then walk into any room of his house and
help yourself.
Pick a random cooler box and just, you know, scoop it up, whatever. He's probably got everything in there.
One probably with rum, one probably with brandy.
Or knowing Judge, it's probably all the same brandy.
Buffalo. 15 seconds, here we go. We're going to have one more lap, unless Munna drastically slows down, which he's not. So there we go, one more lap.
Saw the gap was only 4 seconds, so didn't think he'd be able to slow down that dramatically. Nizmax would catch him on the line. So they're going to have to do another lap. Obviously Chen had a eventful race. Looks like he's going to finish 5th on track. He'll finish 3rd in the points.
Not Kimi dropped down to 10th, made it back up to 9th.
He will finish 9th on the track.
So that will pretty much give him 4th place.
In the result.
Yeah, but that would be still 4th place for him.
Will probably drop into below all those AI with a 50-second gap, 50-second penalty. Still think that's a bit harsh. Unless he was doing 200 k's an hour down the pit lane, then.
But still, even it's still too harsh.
I don't know how you're going to do 200 k's an hour down the pit lane, but good luck with that. Actually, the last time I tried to play this game, I didn't make it out on circuit. I was still sitting in the pits when somebody came into the pits and turned into the wrong pit garage and crashed into me. While I was sitting there, I just saw this car turn into me. It was quite interesting. Something you don't see in F1.
I wonder who that was.
I'll tell you, but you won't believe me. That was actually the man currently sitting in 2nd place.
I was just about to say that that is Onissi. There we go, Munna coming. There's race winner. Well done, Munna.
Nicely done.
And
Flick of the lights.
It took us a good 6. It took us a good 6 races to finally see to see our 3rd winner.
Munna finally getting a full-length race with where he's actually at home and he's not having ESCOM issues or any other sort of issues.
It's finally back in the winning ways. That makes him our 3rd winner for the season. Because so far the season was only Nismax and Judge who won races.
So really good going forward, you know. Change to these new cars for the remainder of the championship, and if you win the first race out, means you've got a good understanding of them. It's good going forward. Just wait for the rest of the cars to come over the line. Some of them might not get over the line. We're just going to wait for that timer on the right hand side to run out. Currently just over a minute on that. Just if the drivers are listening. Obviously Judge was not able to be with us today, but commenting in the comment section wants to give a well done, a congratulations to Munna and Nismax on the race. Nicely done. And also to Chen, nice for picking up the constructors' points there for 3rd place.
Of course, for Judge's teammate there.
So keeping a close eye on the championship, even though he couldn't race today.
And where he says, nice points for Chin. Because obviously thinking about constructors there.
There we have it.
That's pretty much everybody.
That's the end of our footage. So there's your results. We'll just go through them real quick. I'm not going to read all the AI names.
Oh
Some
wow,
really
now
complicated
Roger
names there.
Scarp changes colours from German to South African.
But,
Yo.
yeah, he's got citizenship apparently. So winner wins the race from Nismax. Chen will pick up points for 3rd place, and then just off our screens, not Kimmy.
Will be 4th, yeah.
Gets 11th on the screen, but he will pick up points for 4th place regardless. So that is the end of our coverage. I'm going to say my goodbyes from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be back next week, Thursday. And over to Johan. Enjoy.
For those of you who watched tonight, thank you so much for joining. Of course, for those two space cadets, if I can call them that, Judgy, War Machine, thank you so much for participating in the conversation, making it fun, interesting at times, but that was actually real fun. Just please, guys, keep that up. It actually makes it a lot more interesting when we commentate and you guys comment and participate in the conversation. So thanks for the support, everyone. Have a good evening. Next week, same place, same time, round 7. Of course, will be the same cars again. Till then, cheerio.
Cheers, guys.